The madness continues here for Group B on Miramar. They have 2 more games left for their opening week, and it is still quite an open book in how these standings look. And what we saw just then, again, was teams who even lose 2 players early on can do very well all the way through. We saw Vinco step it up, and they find themselves getting some additional points in. Not far away from 3D Max now. It's that vision now for Vinco where they can say, all right, we've gone through 3 days. Some games have been rough, but we are learning. We are adapting. Tarlans on the other side. Great Erangel coming out yesterday, right? All their games are in the top 8. Today, 216 places so far. You can easily turn that around, but it's going to take a lot of work. An Art of War, Tony, you can't BM anymore. You've gone outside the top 8.
1 point out of BM range. That's just how it is. But Vinco, I mean, as well, to me, when they have the placements, they tend to not get the kills. We saw there in the last game how they could have maybe gone a little aggressive on that southern side because they knew they were pinned. They knew if we go up this way, PG will be there. If we go up the other way, Swarm will be there. But once Swarm started fighting Stella, that to me was their time to push, and they didn't really sort of reach out and grab that chance.
Reach out and grab faith.
You're a human jukebox. I loved it.
Just everything you say I found a song for. You're just setting me up and I'm knocking them down, Toby.
Yeah.
Now, what we don't want to see knocked down again is an awful play and an awful circle. We want something maybe a little bit more in the middle. But like you were saying before, Miramar may not actually give us anything which is something in the middle. It is a difficult map to play from. And we're going to get a plane that goes right down from the southwest all the way up north.
This is going to be an interesting one, too. We saw how many teams settled for the northern drops last time around. 4AK going local Praria normally, but they will settle for Prison, not a spot you normally see looted in competitive play. But, of course, with plane paths like these and you're not being able to go where you normally want to, they will go there instead. Wago and Hitrick, they'll take vehicles, I would assume, down in the area of Los Hicos, and then they will be going up towards the southern side. And they might just be contested here, though. Northwest going down with them. I mean, you must see the parachute, you'd assume, right? So they're landing all together on the southern island. Not a place we normally see fights take place in competitive play, but with palm trees and everything, why not give it a go?
Pretty palm trees. Holiday mode enabled.
I like that.
To go on holiday.
I like Maga. He's going back to where he was in game 1, kinda. Not completely. Washout is there as well. So I guess Maga may be this time around just going for a vehicle. But Washout again. It's rare to see a Moonwolf team that decides to split it up and take compounds on the outside when they know they have a team in force sitting in this area too. Normally, if they aren't a team there doing what I like to call pre-Picado, then you tend to send a guy out where Apocalypse is right now. But because, I mean, even when they have 4 guys there, and him sleeping out there is ballsy. I like to see it.
Oh no, I feel sorry for Northrest as we see the circle pop, and Northrest is engaged with a couple of the 3D Max members who are down there in the south with the rest of 4AK. This circle will give us, though, a bit more of a northeastern shift. A little bit of water included, but nothing to worry about.
Now, I don't know if this is rude for me to say, but it's his own fault in this sense. I mean, he was parachuting right next to the guys for the longest of time, and he must have known that they were going that same direction. Whether he knew that they were going to commit to those equals or not, that's, of course, not to say, but the fact that he keeps going with them when he had the chance to turn around, land on the hills, loot those compounds, turn the other way and run to your teammates. I mean, they have the entire western side of the island to themselves, and he still dug and dive with them. Whether it's him not looking around or not, I don't know. But that one Northwest is on yourself.
Decisions, decisions, decisions. As we'll look at Moonwolf, chilling around the casino for now. They've got plenty of space to work with, but like you mentioned earlier, Washout is the one who was a bit further away. Margo grabbed the vehicle, got himself out of there. He still repositioned himself away from his teammates, though. So maybe he's thinking, okay, if anything does kick off, someone comes toward me, I'll just jump in the vehicle and get out of there. But I would hate to see him go down early on. Tarlans cannot afford to allow 3 games happen in 16th place.
This is also the exact same position that Mago was killed from in that previous game where it actually wasn't him, it was Moonlight, but nonetheless, I mean, he was pressured there for so long. They never really came there to his aid until it was too late, and he went down. He knows for a fact that he's way closer to a potential cavalry arriving of Moonwolf players than his teammates going there, so he has to play it super, super carefully.
Now, when we talked about PEG, they had their opening win on Miramar. They've had some good games on Miramar today as well. They're going to look to keep that up. It seems to be a place they enjoy playing from in terms of how it all ends up. They're able to deal with the rough riding.
No reason for them not to enjoy it. They've got plenty of room to roam around. Winside as well, getting good looting game and a good center position if they dare to make their way further down south. You can see right now Dees is up there in the I like to call it the valley compound, even though it's kind of not, but it still has a big sort of ring around it on the southern side, and it's really easy for you to get pinned on in there. So he's looting up there, and then we'll see. We'll see where Winside dares to go. How greedy do they dare going here in the first circle?
No, I really want to see how this different style of having to play down from the south 4-4 AK is going to work out. Because they've had these games where it hasn't worked out ideally for them. They've got 3D Max nearby them this time, but are they going to be able to handle all this pressure early on, and where will they rotate to from here? Because they're going to be going through a lot of teams that they don't really know of how they play or where they play from.
3D Max are driving right past the prison, and now they probably didn't see the parachutes come down, but Ronnie, oh, you have to land some insane shots to get these ones down. Also, you got to figure, do they actually want to shoot? Because if, and most likely, Hedrick and Wacko lives to drive through this one and they start shooting, that could potentially be them just sitting on that bridge saying, guys, we'll just be waiting for you here.
And Havoki has to be careful because he's there holding them off right on his own, but he doesn't want to deal with two players straight away. So it's all going to come down to how he wants to play this. Does he just hide up and allow them to just roll on by and group up with the rest of their team, which may be the better decision to make here. As Hedrick's going to be the first one to go across. He takes the first few shots, able to do the... Oh, no!
Oh, the timing!
Oh, my God, no! He's just waiting. And instantly, Waggo's going to go down. Havoki, he's living the dream. He took the first shots on his other teammate there for 3D Max. They're not eliminated. It's just Waggo going down. But Havoki saw the car go, bought all his time, waited for him to hop out, and that is a face of depression and doom, because that is not how you want it to kick off for you.
That's a 3.5 kickflip with a Mirado. That's not something you see too often.
Star points that ended up in death.
Yeah. I mean, if you got to go for it, you got to go for it, right? He almost went for the quad, but unfortunately didn't go his way. That was unfortunate. But looked amazing, though.
It's another highlight to be had there. It's gifted. Ruse found himself go down on the floor. Huckster sending straight in for it. Does he know that the teammates... Oh, my God! Off the bike into 2 kills. Hugstar.
I can come up with about 90 different scenarios where that could not have gone the way that he wanted it to.
No, I literally thought he was going to go out to his death, not expecting the other player to be there. Moon's trying to put on some pressure from afar. Has found himself one player knocked down, but this is going to be an easy one for Elgig to get the res on in. And if Hugstar is feeling super confident, maybe he just goes and challenges Moon now.
I mean, he almost killed himself with the bike. That level of confidence was had by him. That was scary, but Hugstar clearly says, guys, we have been chilling for too long. I'm going to go for these kills. I got a knock, and there's no way in hell I'm getting this one stolen again.
This is Hugstar, like, over and over again, because he was doing this before on a wrangle. They were getting picked apart, right? He was always going down too early. But now he's getting away with it. Now he's actually able to do some damage. He's starting to think, all right, I'll just go for it a little bit more. And
the thing is, you can do these plays in... I mean, you can't do them all the time, but you can do them a couple of times where it's... Because teams don't anticipate this sort of aggression, especially if it's a solo guy pushing in.
Wow.
They will never anticipate this. And wow, good shots landed. Hugstar. He's in a spree now. He wants to get all of them.
Gonna get straight back on his bike and go and see Moon and say, you meet your doom, mate. It's time for you to go down and be done with. Winside will have 1 player left alive at the end of this. The boom is there, though. He rolls up to give him some cover. Smoke goes down. Quite a deep smoke, actually, all things considered. I don't think he expected it to bounce that far.
You can see Savage in the back like, Hugstar, wait for us. We're coming to help you. Just chill for like 3 seconds, please.
Oh, that's brilliant. That nade was perfect. And the boom... He could be going boom if he doesn't avoid these nades. He's just on his own now, falling back, and he does not want to deal with this, but he's had to leave his vehicle. Nailup's able to chime in from some side damage, though, and that means because they're making so much noise, they are out in the open. Nailup's has to be careful. That's the second time he's been knocked, but Winside are going to go out in 16th place, and Elgiganten, mainly Hugstar, delivered all the damage.
But look at his HP. Nils gets taken down because of it now, too. I love the aggression. I admire it. And Hugstar...
Oh, no.
If he's not going to get rest off of this one, that's going to be me saying, why? Believe me, I love the aggression. I like that they just say, you know what, we got to go out and get some kills, but this also is the price you pay when you go too aggressive. I like the aggression. It's one of those things you have to be able to toggle and activate and say, boom, let's just go aggro, let's get these kills. But doing it 8 minutes into the game with so many players alive in an area where you know for a fact that there are other teams looking your direction, you're on a hilltop, you're silhouetting for multiple teams to spot you out, it's just too much to me. It's too aggressive.
Too aggressive, which could be the price they pay now. With only 2 players left alive, Quickmath have come onto them. PG are taking shots at them. Desperados are taking shots at them. They are completely surrounded. They made all this noise. Everyone's aware of their position, and they're just trying to escape in their vehicles with their lives. Savage low on health, Deeg spinning away, and they're just going to get into this compound, heal themselves up, and wonder, will anyone maybe leave us alone now? Can we get a bit of time?
I mean, it was them chasing down people. I mean, I think it was them chasing down Hogstar, and Hogstar chasing down people. Just before now, new circle's gonna pop, and it's gonna go towards LSAH. Interesting circle. We have the entire road from where Elgiganten is up towards where LSAH is. There's a huge valley there. It's one of those, if you have to cross it, if you're caught on the wrong side when the circle commits to one or the other side, you're pretty much dead. Unless if you get a really fortunate shift, then you can sort of avoid the confrontations going. LSAH itself as well, huge valley, huge city and a crater where if you're fighting around the edges, you have a good chance. But right now with the circle splitting kind of the road in half there by LSAH, I'm interested in seeing how many teams are actually going all the way around the sides here to try and commit for a northern position.
Now, we spoke about 4AK and their rotations. If anyone's looking at the map stream right now, they're in the blue. They're going back to what their tried and tested style is. Wait it out, be one of the last ones in. But in a circle like this, I'm struggling to see where this is going to work out for them.
Yeah.
They can't predict it. They can't know how it's going to go down, but this is going to be one of the toughest fights in they've had.
This is, I think, as close as you'll ever get to one of those river circles on a wrangle where you have to sit on either the north or the south side, because you have that one clicking right through the middle. Buster putting himself in position to potentially get some roadblock kills, but seems to me like he's gonna miss all those bullets and could be like, where? What? Am I shooting with blanks here, or what's going on?
He seemed a bit panicked as well. He wasn't fully aiming down the sights either. He was just kind of holding it and then, oh, am I going for it? Am I not? It didn't work out, but it's okay. It happens every now and again. It happens to the best of us. As Elgig get picked apart by 2 different teams. They're completely done for, and 3D Max could be finding a rough ride as well as more shots come out towards them. Elgig, you may have got yourself 4 kills to start things off with, but that's all you get in here because you're out in 15th place.
Could have been more to it as well. They got that first kill. Sure, go for the aggression, get the finish off there, get the double there as well. Then the second time around, you got the knock, wait for your team, and you saw Savage. I mean, Savage could not have got into that vehicle any faster to go up there, but Hogstar was just on the hunt to get them down.
You know what Hogstar needs? Someone needs to put a leash around him, and every now and again, just bring it back. Make it really tight and say, no, dude, come. We're not doing this right now. It's like, I know you're amazing. You can hit these shots. You're such a talented player, but just show it at the end, not right now. We've got 2 kills. We'll be happy with that.
Yeah. Whatever you can get early is always good, and if you can keep 4 guys alive at that, that is even better. But they bit off a bit more than they could chew, unfortunately, and down they go in 15th place with 4 kills. Tarlans sitting pretty well in the southern side. They have clearly not wanted to commit to the north, and neither has a lot of the other teams. I mean, again, we're talking about this whole valley going through from pretty much the entire western side to the eastern side of the circle here. If this does commit north up to where we see Tornado Energy right now, even all the way up northwest to where Moonwolf is towards Cruz del Valle, the rotations that some of these teams will have to make, I cannot even imagine how it's going to go down.
VG going to start delivering it, though. This time on to Se7en. Se7en worked their way up north. VG were alongside them, and now they're playing the long-distance game. This is impressive. This is a very confident VG now. A couple of good placements, and they're starting to say, well, we will just challenge whoever's in front of us, and we'll try and challenge it correctly.
And that's what's been their side of a kind of, not fault, but that's what's been keeping them from getting those wins and closing out games. When they had that one game on Erangel where they got the 2nd place, they couldn't finish it out because they played too passive. Same thing last game. Take control, go aggressive, get yourself some kills, and don't get them stolen by Aliyah.
Yeah, that's it, right? You did all the damage, you kept applying the pressure, and Swarm said,
Boink.
To see you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Appreciate that kill
Oh
point.
my. I guess I cursed that one. Sorry, guys, you have to rotate north now.
Well, it's not too bad a rotation coming in for Se7en. Tornado are in it. Art of War as well. Moonwolf working their way straight away into this, but everyone else down from the south. AK still rotating. Tarlans have got a very difficult position to fight from as well.
Yeah.
All of these guys are going to have to work it. And if I'm 4AK right now, I'd like to see you just go out west, work your way all the way across and try it from that side, because you guys have been traveling for the longest time anyway. You've not even got here, so you don't have the information on how many teams are down already.
The thing for 4AK is they're driving in blind. They have not been to this area at all. They've been in the blue for the entire game, pretty much since it started closing on in. And now, if they start to go west, now we just saw it before, just 15 seconds. This 3rd to 4th shift is so short, and if you're driving in blue for much longer, that could be you going down. It's tough terrain to maneuver in with vehicles. Lazar making it work, though, as I talk about tough terrain to drive around in. seems to work out for him anyway.
They're going to jump out, though. They're aware of VG's position near them. They want to try and engage in this, and they've got the time to do it at least. Desperados, they've had a couple of really tough games here on Miramar.
Yeah.
They want to turn this around big time. But again, they're surrounded by Swarm, PG, and multiple other teams coming in from the south.
They are inside the city with Calvin up on the hilltop. I like the split here. Calvin can get kind of the bird's eye view and keep the grand view of what's going on in the city. But the thing is, if they get into close quarter fights inside buildings and whatnot, Calvin just won't be in a position, at least most likely, from which he can help them out.
Nemeref hoping he's going to be rezzed up, depending on where the damage is going to come from, as Desperado is still keen to continue this engagement. For us, they are going to make sure that VG have run away now, but they are split now, and that's going to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, trying to make their way on inside the circle, get themselves a knock here maybe to force them to focus elsewhere. They are trying to push straight forward up towards VG. VG are split though. You got Blue and you got that EXO, I believe it is, sitting together. Yep, they're sitting in the houses up there. You see Soda and the Sereno. They're trying to run on over, but the Sereno on foot here, he might just be laid on to it. And you can see 4AK now as well, trying to make their way in from the east.
Yeah, Sereno is left alone to be potentially picked apart. It depends what 4AK want to do as they start to come in.
This is going to be tough. This is going to be really, really tough. Profest trying to hold an angle northwards. You see him driving on forward. As Serena gets spotted out, and he has to make a run from here. He has to know that more vehicles are coming down towards him. Blue is trying to help, holding off the threat, pushing on forward. But Ronnie is full speeding it, and they're missing bullets they need to land. He has the M249, so doesn't need to reload, but he needs to start landing some shots on these guys, or that could potentially be a Sereno caught off. And also look for us. They're coming in on this one as they see the fight escalating.
Yeah, as soon as they hear it, they want to get involved. Sereno is going to work his way in slowly here. Nixty's just on the side, and are they going to know of how this position is going to play out? Sereno just looking for a bit of cover. He doesn't mind the circle damage just yet. Phase 4 is a little bit harder to deal with, but he's more caring about how he can get in from here. He's not that far away, and he's just watching and listening.
Also got to keep in mind, we got Calvin up here. See him proning in the shack over there to the left. Nixties has run on down, but one well-placed nade from Calvin. If he cooks it right, that's going to be them having no clue where it came from.
More shots coming out, though, for us. I found the rest of VG. One just running the deck, so no vehicle to be had, and Lars is just going to pick him apart. His teammates just abandoned him.
They had vehicles, though, if they're going to commit to this push, because if they just shift away from everyone, we talked about before, Moonwolf are going to be in the most amazing spot in the universe. As Sereno, shots fired on towards him. He needs to get some meds going. Last first aid in use, but Drone is going to deny him that and take him down. Potentially, could be a steal coming in from Nixties. Havakis wants to secure it in the end. Circle shifted away, and for all the teams that just committed to LSR, they lost their vehicles. They have to play this one on foot. Oh my lord, are you gonna have a hard time?
This has just been shifting northwest, 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 and now
Northwest?
These northwest is gonna have to go northwest. It's not gonna work out well for him, even as he finds himself getting knocked down by Shaxi. Metralius up to his old tricks again. Ronnie's on the floor, and Ronnie's going to death. This ending for him very uncomfortably, and only Nixties is left alive.
Nixties just ran over Havaki too. That's the most cruel way in saying, I'm not gonna let you in my vehicle here, buddy.
It's like, get away. This is mine. I don't care about the team anymore. I'm soloing it.
And the worst thing is, I mean, honestly, Nixties being the only guy inside of LSR with a vehicle might just make it out alive. That could have been them having two players up. Instead, Nixties is by himself, and Havaki is there in the chat saying, "No, you didn't." Probably doesn't sound like that, but
Well, you sound like that.
I do sound like that. Yep, every single time.
Tarlans, though, still in this. Yes, there's only 14 teams up in it. There's not going out in last place, but I want to see them do some damage, and that's what they're trying to do. Marga trying to spray on some of those shots. Can't connect the last few bullets. It means Nail-Up will be able to escape. More nades going out. And Nixty, you're all on your own. You got out the car. You seem to be completely pinned once again, as Nail-Up had all that damage done towards him, turns around and lands the headshot onto Marga.
He just 180 and double headshot at Marga. That is absolutely insane. I cannot stress it enough. Crazy pickup by you guys.
More nades just over and over again. This nade meta is not going to end anytime soon. The Molotov's going to go out as well, and Desperado's heavily under pressure, and it just gets worse for Desperados. 12-12 and a 14th place.
Honestly, they have been the victims of the nade meta all day long. There's just been absolutely nothing they have been able to do. Once one nade came in, 4 came to follow immediately, and there's no, like, you don't even get time to react to it. It's just all of a sudden you're blind, you're deaf, and well, bada bing, bada boom, then you're also dead.
One nade is all it would take now for PG if you can get it deep enough as Larza sprays through the smoke. Find himself to knock one player, looking for some more. And for us, they are just constantly today feeling like they can get anything done.
But you can see why they're trying to force so many fights here, because they are on the far edge. They know many teams are around them, and they need to make one hell of a great play here if they want to get out of it alive. And Thralius, all by himself, pinned in between two teams now. Nailip wants to get the info, knows the guys are knocked on the hillside. And I don't see Thralius living this one out.
It's going to take a lot from Atranes to get that done. Jambaway just about avoids the nade. His teammates trying to throw over someone to help him out a little bit. Oh, wow. 4us get eliminated, but PG, they've committed so much to it that now they're being finished off.
They're getting taken out by Swarm. Swarm, the team that have been hiding on the side. And Nemerth and Nailip just committed a bit too hard on getting that last player down and out. But again, they have to rotate across the street. If you have a solo player behind you, that is going to be him getting you taken down. So they needed to go for it. Same thing with them talking about with Se7en in game 1. It seems like they were committing, but they need to clear him before they can move. Now, all by himself, Ermag is peeking this one, but he needs to fall back down. They have 0 kills so far, but still 3 guys on their feet. Tarlans have a chance to do something here.
Look at him go to reposition himself. Moonlight's making multiple bullets come at him. Ermag's doing some keen damage, but he's still got multiple players to deal with here from Moonwolf. Throws the nade out to try and secure the finish.
I thought he should finish off his teammate, but that was Arco. There you go. Elgiganten finishes off him. That's going to be Yannick's vehicle exploding, somehow not taking him with him. Broken, though, will land the long-range shot, and look at the shots coming in. And Solenzo not getting the steal. And I guess that's one going away from Swarm this time around, only fair.
Yeah, Swarm sat up top, fragging out, causing a lot of problems for some of these teams. As Tarlans now, they've got a quick decision to make on how they want to try and approach this with just a couple of players left alive.
There is a little dip on the other side of the road. You can see the Tuho, Yuho, and Quickmath has made their way over towards it. And again, not an area that we see a lot of end games in, so people might not know this terrain as well as they probably should when they're playing the level that they are here. Drone trying to get the angle on people in. I was going to realize, oh, well, oh, wait, circle is pushing. Okay, let me just go get my vehicle and get across the street before I focus on anything else. That's some wishful nading by Tuho there.
Say,
I mean, sometimes they do. Sometimes you do get a knock off of that. That's a thing.
It's not going to work out this time around as Drone taking a few pop shots there towards the buggy, looking for the final player behind it. Hydric's going to just die out to the zone for 3D Max. And Swarm, as a unit, is going to work their way down. Tornado, though. This time they are back in it, and they are still fragging out. 4 kills already. PG-18 go down, and it is expected. They've been fighting against multiple teams here for the longest time. It's not been easy no matter where they've turned.
They were taking fights all the time, and Tuho does get a knock with his nade, so maybe we shouldn't sulk so much when he indeed can land those long-range throws, the Hail Marys over the hillside. Gets himself 1 knock. Seems like Drone will be able to get back up Aaliyah, though. There's fighting for the edge here. Of course, the next circle could go anywhere. We'll know in just about 10 seconds' time where we're headed, but we have a lot of edge teams right now, and for any of them, it's going to be extremely hard to do things.
Tuo Euro landing the headshot onto Drone. He's not done yet. He wants to be able to defend this off, but Swarm, despite having the blocked player, they're still able to hold on to this. They've got a good spot to fight from.
Trying to hold off the guys in the Art of War outside the circles where they're sitting right now. But Quickmath and Swarm as well have ways to go, and they could potentially be making their way over in this direction. They don't have a whole lot of other places to go at this point. Tony, Rip, all that's left of the team, trying to stay put here as the circle starts closing on in them militarily.
Tornado are just shredding teams that come towards them.
Yeah.
Tarlans have made it just around the edge, and they've escaped one side to get into another, but it means they're still not in the circle just yet, and they don't want to deal with Moonwolf. Stella working their way in from the north, but Se7en, once again, almost sent it, but just 2 players left alive. Soda from VG, he's right on the edge, and he can't take this circle damage. You need to move, buddy.
Circle can't do anything other than move in further and further on in, and Soda has to just go with it. I mean, it's going to pressure him some more. Now Swarm is making their way up in his direction. Hopefully, they'll cut a corner anywhere before him. Soda don't want to face off against 4 players. He's prone down there on the edge, you can see him. Aaliyah might get called off. There could be 1 point coming in, and it most likely will be. Soda gets the knock on him, but now they know immediately where he is too. But look at this, the Helm is trying to go around the corner, but Se7en is there to engage, and he gets 1 more knock. Soda still alive with low HP, gets himself 2 knocks back to back, and 2 finish off 2.
Soda is living the dream, and Kravik has come to his aid. Se7en without knowing, have massively helped him out here because they are completely pinning down the final two members of Swarm. And 2OU is the one to land the headshot onto Broke, and the nade goes out, and Kravik is saying, thanks, guys. This is how we do teamwork without being on the same team.
The CIS South Africans Alliance prevails. And Swarm goes down. Pelts is though trying to push on forward. Stella is up here as well. So many teams up in this corner of the map, and now out of 4 are trying to engage on it too. Soda does go down, but not without a fight. Great effort put in there as a solo player remaining. Sure, a bit of help came your way, but taking that initial 1v2 to get the double knock and 2 points off of it too. Great job by Soda.
What I love, right, is how many players would have just left that and not challenged it, knowing how many were in front of him. Soda had the balls to still go for it, get a couple of kills, and yes, he was helped out by Se7en, but the unlikely alliance ended up working out for a little while.
Indeed it did. Now the teams that have been able to stay put on the western side for the time being, they're going to be praising the kill feed going active as we get themselves a break. Tony goes down. 1 placement point accumulated. Not sure exactly how many kills they ended up getting. You can see Noki down the hill here. Just buying time, enjoying seeing the kill feed light up. And he's going to go down. Comfort and watch out. Taking a lot of shots. Fight Comfort though was the one to finish him off there.
Peltsidge doesn't have the advantage in terms of who's got the high ground, but he's going to throw some nades up high and see if he can make him connect at all. He's going to give away his position.
How does he still have nades? Quickmath has been throwing nades all game long.
Nades for days. 2OU, have you still got nades? I'm going to be greatly surprised.
He's still Peltier still has them. 2 more. 1 to go after this one.
The nades are so vital in the current way we are playing PUBG. It's huge impact that they can have, especially when teams cluster together a little bit and try and find a bit of cover in these open endings.
The thing is, they can't sit around here much longer. They need to go around the northern side, but they know what's waiting for them. Se7en is sitting on the other side. They are in a CIS sandwich right now. And they're not really sure how they can get out of it alive. They have a huge open area on that northern side that they could push into. They will have to push into it because the circle is closing in, but they're hoping that maybe some teams will alleviate some of the pressure from them just for a little while.
Tarlans. They've crept into top 6. They've got 2 players still alive. Kofest has spotted them out, and he's just like, come on, make a move again. Trying to land the shots, but he's not able to connect them. He knows exactly where they are. Watch out will find him. He spent a little bit too long focused on them. Example comes in and says, I'll show you how it's done, mate. Here we go.
Kofest should have been wearing heels. He would have been able to see the heads, but unfortunately not quite the case.
He wasn't quite 5'8". He needed a little bit pushed up on him.
Yep. Just a bit too short. I wonder how tall the PUBG characters are in centimeter-wise. That's a question for another time, I guess. We'll go back into the game here, Cass. AWM, long distance. They have a good spot in the circle and sitting on the north side. They got a win yesterday as well, still, and they would love themselves getting one more today.
Peltsid tries to run away. It's not going to happen. Buster trying to land 2 nades and just finish off Quickmath completely here. Se7en getting it done. We spoke about the CIS sandwich. And now Se7en have taken a bite out of it, and they just need 1 more to be found.
How do they do this too? I mean, they've been 2 players alive for the longest of time. Same thing in the last one where they got 4th place with solo player 2. Kravik is still getting knocks and finish offs. I mean, what the hell is going on here? How are these players allowed to take this much control?
You know what really interests me? I'd love to know if they are just like playing in a house together as a team, or they're completely online and in different houses, because this teamwork is monstrous.
It is.
Every single time.
They're playing it off extremely well. Tarlans out in 6th place, and now once again, placement points for them. Not a whole lot of kills coming their way, but they do manage to get a few, and every single point, we know it, every single point can be the difference. Mega team tempo. No. Tornado energy.
Yep.
Thank you, James, for messing my head up yesterday. It transferred over to today as well. Tornado energy get themselves the 10th kill. And, well, again, 2 players live as well. Just racking up points.
Now, Tornado have a great spot to play from here with where Example is. Comp needs to work his way in, but he's well aware of where Se7en are at this point. Moonwolf, they are just on the edge. They've got a couple of crates there, but to try and get those crates is a big risk if they ever want to move out. And everyone knows exactly where they are up on the high ground. Kaz finds himself a headshot onto Washout, which is going to be huge, but it's about trying to get the finish off. And where they're sat, it's quite easy for them to keep themselves defended at least.
Does both Moleman and Kaz have an AWM?
Yeah.
I feel like Moleman got a knock with an AWM before, didn't he? Or was it just me? No, he has an SKS. Okay, never mind. I was like, that would be absolutely madness if they were sitting around with 2 AWMs. But I guess it's a good combo here as well. Cass can get the knocks with the AWM, and then he can boom, 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 quickly get the flashes there as well.
This is huge, by the way, because Se7en had a player knocked, and they've still been able to bring it back up despite it being this late into the game. So they found cover. They've managed to get it done. They're now going to be reaching top 4, and they're looking to stretch this even further. Another solid placement point game potentially here for these guys.
This area is so rough to play around, though. You can see it right here. Big overview of your screen. The entire western side is a huge open field, and the circle is going to go out to that in just a short moment. Tornado Energy trying to sit on the backside here, just forcing these players out into the open. And on the backside of things, you got Moonwolf, 3 players alive on 1 rock, but now it's going to be Example finishing off Buster. 1 more Se7en Esports player alive.
StarLadder want to engage on this, though, knowing that what's just been happening. We saw the shots go out towards the Tornado team. Kaz is going to drop himself down, get prone, heal himself up, but when does Example want to strike? And Krabic has just been left now. He could be a real problem for Tornado if they don't look at him. Washout finds himself getting knocked down again, and he's finished off by Moleman this time, which means that Moonwolf going to lose their advantage. The circle's going to be pressuring him very soon. More shots coming out towards them, shots being hit, but Example has to be careful now.
Moonwolf need to get some knocks, and then some more of them come, but does come in to help. Or get taken down, I guess. Krabic with the push as a solo player. Every single point matters. Could be the difference makers too. Krabic has to run further and fast though, because the circle is pushing him.
So much damage to be had here as Se7en go down in 4th place. StarLadder managed to find him out.
Moleman secures himself his 5th kill as well. Rizu's still alive, real low HP down behind the rock down there. If he can hide around here for a little while longer, could be his game to take. Example, solo player, Cass and Moleman on duo. He spots out one, that's gonna be Example down, and now it's a 2v1. Stella, reset, focus. You got 1 more player to go, and you know exactly where he is.
Smoke goes out. Kaz going to be having that information passed on over to him. You look at him reposition himself. He's going to go look for it. Spots out Resu. Shots come in. Moleman's the one to get the final kill. 8 kills and a win. StarLadder get the job done once again.
Great effort there in the end. Never lost their cool. They had the high